Have you ever felt like someone's words or actions ruined your entire day? Maybe it was an inconsiderate remark, a thoughtless gesture, or just an unexpected inconvenience. It's frustrating, right? But here's the truth. No one has the power to control your emotions unless you allow them to. What if you could stay calm and unaffected, no matter what life or anyone else throws your way? Imagine walking through your day with such a strong sense of peace that even the most annoying situations couldn't shake you. That's not wishful thinking, it's emotional mastery. In this episode, we're diving into 8 transformative lessons that will help you stop reacting impulsively, let go of anger, and regain control over your emotions. These lessons aren't about ignoring your feelings or pretending they don't exist. They're about building the mental strength to navigate life's challenges with grace and clarity. Whether it's dealing with criticism, setting boundaries, or learning to let go of grudges, you'll discover practical tools to protect your peace and live with confidence. By the end of this episode, you'll have the mindset and strategies to stay unbothered, even in the toughest situations. So, if you're ready to unlock the secret to emotional freedom and live a life where no one can control your mood, let's dive in. Your journey to mastering your emotions starts now. 1. Understand that your reactions are your choice. Picture this. You're having a peaceful day, maybe sipping coffee or strolling through the park, when suddenly someone says something rude or inconsiderate. Your calm vanishes, replaced by anger or frustration. You might think, why did they ruin my day? But here's the truth. They didn't. You did. Your emotions are your responsibility, not theirs, and certainly not anyone else's. No one can control how you feel unless you give them that power. Think of it this way. Life may throw challenges your way, but only you decide how to respond. Imagine wearing noise-canceling headphones in a busy city. The honking cars, the loud conversations, they're still there, but they don't affect you. That's how emotional mastery works. You don't have to let the noise of other people's behavior invade your peace. There's a famous saying that goes, between stimulus and response, there is a space, and in that space lies our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and freedom. When someone cuts you off in traffic or criticizes your work unfairly, it's easy to blame them for your anger. But what if, instead of reacting right away, you took a moment to pause? In that pause, you find the power to choose calm over chaos, strength over impulsiveness. Here's a real-world example. Imagine your coworker dismisses your idea during a meeting. Instead of snapping back or stewing in resentment all day, take a moment to breathe and reflect. Is it about you, or is it their own stress or bias showing? By reframing the situation, you neutralize its impact on your emotions. The beauty of this approach is that it's not about suppressing how you feel. It's about recognizing that your feelings and your reactions are separate. Anger, frustration, and disappointment are natural, but they don't have to dictate what you do next. A simple strategy to practice this mindset. Pause and identify when you feel triggered. When you feel your emotions rising, take a moment to name the feeling: anger, hurt, irritation. This breaks the automatic reaction cycle. Ask yourself why you feel this way. Reflect on whether the emotion is caused by the situation or by your interpretation of it. Choose your response. Decide how you want to act based on your values and long-term peace, not just the heat of the moment. Imagine the freedom of walking through life unaffected by others' actions, the rude stranger, the thoughtless remark, the minor inconvenience. All of them lose their power over you when you take control of your reactions. In every moment, you have a choice. You can let others dictate your emotions, or you can reclaim your power and protect your peace. The next time someone tries to push your buttons, remember, Their behavior doesn't define you, your reaction does. And in choosing calm, you gain not just emotional mastery, but freedom. True freedom isn't about expecting others to behave in the way you would. How many times have you found yourself disappointed when someone you counted on wasn't there when you needed them? It's frustrating, isn't it? You think, how could they be so inconsiderate? I would never do that to them. But here's the hard truth. People don't operate by your standards. They act based on their own experiences, values, and priorities. Expecting others to think, behave, or respond exactly as you would is like trying to control the weather. It's impossible and only leads to frustration. Think of it this way. Everyone is on their own unique journey, shaped by their personal experiences and beliefs. When someone does something that irritates or hurts you, it's often not about you, it's about them. Trying to change or control their behavior only leaves you feeling powerless. Instead of focusing on how others should act, try focusing on accepting them as they are. For example, imagine a colleague who constantly interrupts during meetings. Instead of getting upset or trying to teach them a lesson, recognize that their behavior isn't about you. By letting go of the expectation that they'll change, you free yourself from unnecessary emotional turmoil. As the saying goes, expectations are the root of all suffering. The less you expect from others, the more you protect your peace. Here's a simple exercise to help you release expectations. Acknowledge your assumptions. When you feel upset, ask yourself, what did I expect them to do? Challenge those expectations. Reflect on whether it's realistic to expect someone else to behave exactly as you would. Shift your focus. Instead of trying to control their behavior, focus on how you can respond calmly and maintain your peace. Think about how liberating this mindset can be. The rude stranger, the forgetful friend, the inconsiderate coworker, none of them can disrupt your peace unless you let them. When you stop expecting others to meet your standards, you take back control over your reactions. In the end, people are who they are, not who you want them to be. Accepting this doesn't mean tolerating poor behavior or abandoning your values. It means recognizing that your peace is too valuable to be compromised by things you can't control. The next time someone lets you down or frustrates you, take a moment to remind yourself they are acting from their nature, not mine, and that's okay. I choose my response. By letting go of expectations, you gain freedom not just from others' actions, but from the emotional weight they once carried. 2. Choosing peace over pride. The power of pausing before arguing. It's easy to get caught up in a need to defend ourselves, to argue our case, or to point out flaws in others when they challenge us. But what if, instead of jumping into that automatic reaction, we paused and asked ourselves, is this really worth my energy? Will this argument truly change anything important in my life? In most cases, the answer is no. Here's an example. A friend might insist that their way of handling a problem is far superior to yours. Rather than diving headfirst into a debate, what if you chose to simply say, I see where you're coming from, and I respect your perspective. By doing so, you not only diffuse the tension, but also keep your inner calm intact, preventing unnecessary conflict. The ancient Taoist philosopher Lao Tzu offers timeless wisdom on this. He said, "He who is attached to his views will never grow." The key is learning to let go of the need to always be right. This doesn't mean abandoning your principles or silencing your voice, but rather recognizing that not every disagreement needs to end with you emerging victorious. It's about choosing when to engage in conflict and when to step back, protecting your energy for more important matters. Here's how you can begin practicing this mindset in your own life. Pause before responding. When you feel the urge to argue, take a deep breath. Reflect on whether it's worth your energy to continue. Is this conversation going to affect your life in any meaningful way? Seek understanding instead of trying to win. Instead of focusing on winning the argument, shift your mindset to genuinely understanding the other person's perspective. Ask open-ended questions that allow them to explain their views. This approach often leads to a more peaceful resolution, and it may even cause the other person to reflect on their stance more deeply. Pick your battles. Not every disagreement is worth engaging in. Save your energy for conversations that align with your core values or that influence significant outcomes. Over time, you'll notice how much lighter and calmer you feel when you let go of the need to be right in every situation. Choosing peace over pride can be liberating. Remember, your value doesn't come from winning debates or proving your intelligence. It lies in how you carry yourself, how you protect your energy, and how you maintain your inner peace. So, the next time you're tempted to argue, pause. Remind yourself that being right might not bring you happiness, but being calm and composed will. And in that moment, you'll experience the power of letting go. 3. Stop letting others' words define your worth. Imagine this scenario. You're excitedly sharing an idea that you're truly passionate about, and someone interrupts you with a dismissive comment. Their words feel like a blow, and suddenly, your confidence vanishes. Why does this happen? It's because, at times, we allow others' words to determine how we see ourselves. But the truth is, your worth is not tied to the opinions of others. It's not dependent on their compliments, criticisms, or judgments. When you rely on others for validation, you give them power over your emotions. True emotional freedom comes when you take that power back. Consider a situation where a colleague harshly criticizes your work. Your instinct might be to defend yourself or feel hurt. But what if, instead of reacting, you paused and reminded yourself, their words reflect their perspective, not my value. By detaching your self-worth from others' opinions, you protect your peace and stay focused on what matters. Marcus Aurelius captured this wisdom perfectly when he said, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinions than our own." This doesn't mean ignoring feedback or dismissing people's input altogether. Constructive criticism can help you grow, but unwarranted negativity doesn't deserve a place in your mind. Here's how to stop letting others' words define your worth. Pause before reacting. When someone's words sting, take a moment to breathe and reflect. This pause gives you the opportunity to choose a more thoughtful response rather than reacting impulsively. Separate fact from opinion. Ask yourself, is there truth in what they're saying, or is this just their perspective? Focus on what helps you grow and let go of the rest. Reaffirm your worth. Remind yourself that your value is intrinsic and not dependent on anyone else's approval. You don't need external validation to know your own worth. As Lao Tzu said, care about what other people think, and you will always be their prisoner. Letting go of the need for validation doesn't mean you stop caring about others. It simply means you stop caring about opinions that don't serve your growth. By doing this, you free yourself from unnecessary emotional weight. The next time someone's words challenge your confidence, pause. Ask yourself, am I letting this define me? Or can I choose to focus on what I know to be true about myself? In that moment, you reclaim your power. True strength isn't in avoiding criticism, but in knowing your worth regardless of it. 4. Protect your energy by setting boundaries. Imagine a friend calls you in the middle of a busy day, asking for help with something they could likely handle themselves. Or perhaps a coworker dumps a last-minute task on you, assuming you'll say yes. You feel obligated, yet frustrated because you know this will disrupt your plans. Why is it so hard to say no? The truth is, protecting your peace requires setting boundaries. And boundaries aren't selfish. They're necessary for maintaining your well-being. Without boundaries, you allow others to dictate your time and energy. This can quickly lead to burnout, resentment, and feelings of being overwhelmed. It's important to recognize that saying no isn't a reflection of your character. It's an act of self-care. When you set clear boundaries, you are teaching others how to respect your time and needs, which ultimately benefits everyone involved. Here's how to start protecting your energy through boundaries. Be clear about your limits. Take the time to define what's acceptable for you and what isn't. Communicate your boundaries confidently and with kindness. You don't have to apologize for needing time for yourself or for prioritizing your own goals. Learn to say no. It might feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to people pleasing, but saying no is essential to maintaining your balance. You don't have to offer a detailed explanation. A simple, "I'm unable to help with this right now," is enough. Don't feel guilty. Setting boundaries doesn't mean you're being selfish. It means you're taking care of yourself so you can show up as your best self in other areas of your life. Respecting your own needs creates space for healthier relationships and more focused, productive energy. By protecting your energy and setting boundaries, you can avoid burnout and stay aligned with your values. In the long run, this will lead to more peace, fulfillment, and the ability to engage with life in a way that supports your true well-being. 5. Mastering emotional freedom. Protect your peace and take control. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when we're constantly giving, especially when we say yes to everyone else and neglect our own needs. A powerful reminder to keep in mind is, you can't pour from an empty cup. If you're always giving without protecting your energy, burnout and resentment will follow. This is where boundaries come in. They protect your emotional freedom and help maintain healthy relationships. Consider this: when someone crosses your boundaries, it's not their fault, it's yours for not clearly defining and standing by them. Remember, people aren't mind readers, and unless you communicate your limits, they'll continue to push often unknowingly. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect that teaches others to do the same. For example, maybe you're the go-to friend for advice, even late at night. Instead of feeling drained or resenting them, you could say, "I care about you, but I need to keep evenings for myself to recharge. Let's talk tomorrow." This firm yet kind response protects your peace while preserving the relationship. Epicurus teaches that freedom is the ability to live as we wish, and true freedom lies in knowing where to spend your energy. Boundaries allow you to choose your priorities and keep your emotional well-being intact. Here's how to set effective boundaries. Be clear and honest. Calmly and directly communicate your limits. When others understand your boundaries, they are more likely to respect them. Use I statements. Express your needs without blaming others. For instance, "I need quiet time after work," rather than "You're always bothering me." Stick to your boundaries. Consistency shows others that you are serious about protecting your space. If you don't enforce your boundaries, you may invite unnecessary stress and frustration. Remember, boundaries are not walls, they are bridges to healthier relationships. The next time you feel overwhelmed, ask yourself, have I communicated my needs clearly? Am I honoring my own boundaries? By setting limits, you reclaim your energy and focus on what truly matters. 6. Detaching from the opinions of others, finding freedom in your own truth. Imagine you share an idea with a group, only to be met with criticism or indifference. The sting of disappointment is real and can easily spiral into self-doubt. But here's a question worth considering. Why does their opinion hold so much weight? We all crave approval, but relying on others' validation is like chasing shadows. You'll never catch them. Emotional freedom begins when you stop letting the opinions of others define your worth. After all, everyone views the world through their own lens, shaped by their experiences and biases. What someone says about you often reveals more about them than it does about you. Let's say you wear a new outfit that you love and a coworker remarks, "That's an interesting choice." You could let that comment undermine your confidence, or you could remind yourself that their opinion doesn't diminish your joy. By detaching from the need for approval, you free yourself to live authentically. The philosopher Epictetus once said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." Growth often involves going against the grain and embracing your path, even if others don't understand it sets you free. Here's how to start detaching from others' opinions. Question their importance. When someone's opinion bothers you, ask yourself, why does this matter to me? What authority do they have over your life? Reaffirm your values. Focus on what matters to you, not what others expect of you. Ground yourself in your goals and principles. Practice letting go. When criticism or judgment arises, acknowledge it without clinging to it. Imagine their words as leaves floating down a stream, present, but not lasting. By detaching from others' opinions, you gain the freedom to build a life that's authentically yours. Your worth is not up for debate, it's intrinsic, unshaken by external noise. 7. Responding with silence, not anger. The power of calm. Imagine you're in a heated argument and someone says something hurtful. Your heart races, and your instinct is to retaliate with a sharp remark. But what if, instead of reacting, you simply said nothing? Silence is one of the most powerful responses to negativity. It doesn't mean conceding or avoiding confrontation. It means choosing calm over chaos. Responding with silence isn't weakness. It's strength. It shows that you value your peace more than the need to retaliate. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "The best answer to anger is silence." Anger seeks fuel to keep burning, and silence starves it. By choosing not to engage, you break the cycle of negativity and protect your emotional well-being. Here's how to make silence your go-to response. Pause before reacting. When someone provokes you, take a moment to breathe. Silence creates space for clarity. Listen without defending. Sometimes people just want to vent. Let them speak without interrupting or feeling the need to explain yourself. Speak only when necessary. If a response is needed, keep it calm, measured, and to the point. Silence isn't the absence of a response. It's the presence of wisdom. It's the ability to rise above the noise and say, "My peace matters more than this moment." Eight. The art of letting go, finding strength in release. Imagine holding on to a hot coal, determined to throw it at someone who hurt you. But as you wait, the coal continues to burn your hand. Holding on to anger, grudges, or resentment works the same way. It harms you more than the person who caused your pain. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting or condoning what happened. It means releasing the emotional weight that drags you down and freeing yourself from the past. When you let go, You reclaim your energy and peace, and you focus on the present. The Buddha wisely said, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Letting go is the antidote to this toxic cycle. It allows you to move forward instead of staying stuck in the past. Here's how to practice letting go. Acknowledge your feelings. Don't suppress your emotions. Allow yourself to feel hurt, anger, or disappointment. Reframe the situation. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow stronger because of it? Focus on the present. Letting go is a choice you make for yourself. Shift your attention to the here and now, where your power lies. By choosing to let go, you free yourself to live a life that's lighter, stronger, and more fulfilling. Life isn't about what happened, it's about what's possible. Let go of what no longer serves you, and you'll discover a newfound peace and strength. In closing, mastering your emotions is not about suppressing them, it's about responding to life's challenges with clarity and strength. By pausing before reacting, setting boundaries, detaching from others' opinions, responding with silence, and mastering the art of letting go, you take control of your peace, your time, and your emotional well-being. When you choose to prioritize yourself, you give the best version of yourself to the world.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.